Good morning, this is Darren Benton with Performance Motorcoaches out in Texas. We're out here on a little brisk fall morning. Apologize for a little bit of the sound. We're along a major highway, so lots of morning rush hour traffic. But wanted to get out here before service cranked up, before anybody got here, just to go over this beautiful Renegade. This is our second big chassis Renegade. We've sold several through the pandemic, which has been a good thing. Most of those are custom units that are coming down the line. For the people that have seen me in the past, they've known that I've been a show hauler dealer for 5 years and been basically in the truck chassis motorhome industry for close to 20 years and 10 years, I apologize. So, but lots of experience. I've sold against the Renegade line for basically 5 years and have known the product inside and out. Happy to be able to bring those on board to get more product to be able to deliver to the consumers themselves. With the show hauler line, we just can't get any more units. We have high demand. We have people call every day looking for these units, and we just can't get our hands on them. So happy we have the Renegade line. Probably the most unique part about this is the first new body style Cascadia. Some people call them the P4 or the Generation 4. Basically, I call them new body, old body Cascadia. And we drove this one down over the weekend, did a great job. The Cascadias themselves are incredibly quiet cab. Probably, well, without a doubt, my favorite cab. You can build, it's obviously one of those things you can build on any cab, and you'll have debates, the whole GM versus Ford. But this is my personal favorite. I wouldn't build on anything else given the opportunity, and just the quality of the ride, the ease of the performance and stability out on the road. We have higher winds in our neck of the woods, so once we got out into Oklahoma, it had a lot higher winds, and it just performed great. You could drive down the road at 75, 80 with very little effort at all. Most of these trucks, once you get up to 75 and 80, they're all over the road. It takes a lot of maneuvering the steering wheel and whatnot. Kind of talk about the cab. So they actually use the exact same cab as the previous body styles and same doors, but they changed the door skin themselves to integrate with the hood and the front bumper. So luckily we were able to use, all the manufacturers were able to use the same fiberglass cap on the new body style Cascadia as what you would use on the old body style Cascadia. A lot of the same technology as far as the Detroit package, the Detroit Assurance, just a lot more integrated, a lot more seamless technology. This is actually an Allison. Previous, I was not a fan of the Allison because of the integration with the Detroit engine and some of the adaptive cruise. They have fixed all those problems, the quirkiness and whatnot. So, in fact, it's the same shifter on a DT transmission as what you would get with the Allison. So pretty cool there. Fun to drive. I mean, lots of performance on it. This unit is actually going to its new owner hopefully Wednesday, Thursday. Deal's not 100% firmed up, but pretty certain it's going to go home Wednesday or Thursday. Just wanted to do a video, kind of express, my excitement about the Renegade product. Go through, kind of share the knowledge that I have of the product. Even though we're an RV dealership, we're sitting at the RV dealership. My primary focus is on these truck chassis motorhomes. Spend a lot of time. We'll kind of go over more of that inside once we kind of get out of the, the elements outside. But great paint job. This is a classic. This is a 45 CMR. So basically, opposing slides up front, opposing seating with a bath and a half configuration. The nice thing about the classics is it's a true custom RV. You can truly pick different floor plans and such. Basically, if you can dream it, they can build it on the classic line. That's one of the only lines, that is the only line from the Renegade you can do a true custom. Same for paint. Any of the other lines out of Renegade, you cannot do a custom paint job. I'm a big fan of silver and gray, and so I've deviated this paint job I used previously about 4 or 5 months ago. I think it turned out great. The sun will be coming up over the houses over here, so you can see some of the darker metallics and such, some of the fading. But I think it's a really cool paint job, nice and cool. I'm a neat freak. like things that easy to keep clean, no scratching and such. So that's kind of that was my preference on the paint job. Obviously out in Texas, it stays much cooler compared to, you know, dark burgundies, blacks and blues and such. Let's kind of go down the coach. Had a little bit of this in the other Renegade Peterbilt video that I did. The baggage doors, hands down the best in the industry for the baggage doors. They're all built in-house, and they use the same baggage doors all the way through the Renegade line. If you're talking about a $100,000 Sprinter all the way up to a $800,000 Icon, it's the same baggage door. You know, dual latch, just a lot nicer, a lot cleaner system right there. The compartments themselves are all bed lined. The lip right here allows, you know, if you do get a little moisture in there, the idea is for the moisture to get down in the lip right there. You know, people talk about, well, they can be rinsed out. Obviously, you wouldn't want to rinse out with your dual inverters there, but they can be wiped out. Just a lot better idea than carpet. They are a sheet metal construction, no plastic. Some of the manufacturers use really incredibly thin sheet metal. These are definitely robust and very stout. All of these are fully locking and integrated with a keypad or a key fob. The won't hit too much on the Oasis. I'm sorry, the Aqua Hot system here. It's a 45,000 BTU boiler system. You know, once you go to the hydronic system, I don't believe you'll ever go back. Some more storage there. Any of these can be set up for an outdoor cooler. A lot of people have their own preference on the outdoor cooler, whether they want the freezer or the fridge or the combination unit, but you can kind of do whatever you might want there. This is probably the most impressive. Try to get off in there. Probably the most impressive in that it has that little pass-through underneath. So a lot of room underneath there to be able to put some larger items, you know, tables and such. And a small storage compartment there. Actually, I think the central vac is located. Central vac is actually located inside there. Oh. There's a few different configurations of tail lights and such. You can do vertical tail lights on the side. I just think it kind of takes away from the coach themselves. So just a single third brake light up high there. Yeah, you know, the idea is if you have some issues in regards to your tow vehicle, you know, you'd be able to see that third brake light up high enough in higher traffic and such. 40,000 pound hitch configuration. This particular hitch right here is rated at 30,000 pounds. You could deviate that to be able to utilize the full 40,000 pounds. Some of the plugs here, that's just your regular 7-pole for, you know, trailers and such. And then you have some additional plugs here for trailer cameras. So we have some customers that will heavy equine industry, so they'll have several cameras inside the trailer itself. One extra camera on the back side of the trailer. So a lot of options there. Glad hands. Renegade runs the glad hands through there. My personal preference is I would rather them not be there and be able to add them after the fact. It would be pretty easy to, you know, take and pull these back out. So aesthetics, if you weren't a big fan of that, those are for air ride trailers, air brake trailers. My preference would to just have those things inside. We'll see if we can't spec those out where they're not kind of big and ugly, kind of sticking out of the way there. Come back around here. Standard power cord reel there. Because of the construction of the front flush floor slide, it forces the Renegade to have all the generators rearward to the axle. Me personally, we're out here in West Texas. It's incredibly dusty. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm not going to be able to get it changed anytime soon. So what I do is I spec them with dual power inverters. And the idea is to run one power inverter to maintain basically your coach, and then another power inverter just solely for one rooftop air conditioner. And that will be your middle air conditioner. You know, even in our neck of the woods where it's 100 degrees, you can cool the coach pretty efficiently running up and down the road with just that single AC. You know, once you get to wherever you're going, obviously there's not a ton of battery capacity on this, but it was really intended to minimize the generator driving up and down the road. That's it. That's the whole reason why I spec them with 2 power inverters. So we'll talk about the wet bay. Probably the best in the industry. Very nice and clean. Everything is water jetted in here. And so no stickers to contend with. You don't have to worry about these. I mean, obviously there's a sticker there, but you know, all your valves and stuff, you don't have to worry about the stickers falling off. Nice and clean, everything is completely sealed up. The nice thing about Renegade, whenever you spec them with the hydronic system, it will actually come with a hydronic register inside that compartment right there. And so the idea is, if you are in an extreme cold environment, you'll have a thermostat integrated, and so that'll be a fully heated storage compartment there. We'll come up front here, just about it. Decided to leave all the slide outs closed just to make it a little bit easier to see underneath. Storage, batteries here. We just did 2 8D. So many people have their own ideas and preferences on batteries, so don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on batteries, because somebody might decide, you know what, I want to pull all these out and do lithiums. That is something that Renegade is now offering, doing some of the lithiums. You'll see that on some other coaches coming down the line. Lithiums, obviously, there's a pretty good price premium for the lithiums. We're talking about $10,000. A lot of people in our neck of the woods would just rather run $10,000 worth of diesel through their generator, because even with lithiums, you can still only run one air conditioner. They will not design this coach, they will not engineer this coach to be able to run anything more than one air conditioner off the inverter. So with the solar panels that's up on top of here, we have 390 watt panels up top. Solar panels that are on this, it'll do pretty good just for boondocking, but if you travel into those extremely hot environments, just plan on running your generator. Kind of peer inside the cab a little bit here. Really easy entry in and out of the cab. I'm going to turn the clearance lights off. I'm making some racket there. Another cool thing that Renegade does is they finish out the cab really nicely. They have floor mats, seamed floor mats, and then they have a floor mat that covers the entire cab itself. We just got in here today, still a little bit dirty in here. We got it washed up, cleaned up, but easy to get in and out of. Dual air ride seats. Probably going to try to talk them into utilizing the factory seats. These are some aftermarket seats. I'm just a big fan of the factory seats. A nice factory seat, a nice ride. And some of my other trucks in the past, I mean, that's what I've always done on the show hauler line, and that's probably what I'll get them to do. These are like a Barca-Lounger, and you don't drive down the highway in a Barca-Lounger. It feels comfortable, but you know, ultimately driving, you want to be able to, you know, kind of manipulate your back a little bit, and those are not my favorite seat. But everything else, the layout of the cab, the colors, everything just looks really good, nice and finished off. Fuel tank right down here, 120 gallon fuel tank. Of course, pretty much everybody has gone over to the Detroit. When I first started selling these units, everybody was running the Cummins, and I hated the Cummins in that we had lots of issues in regards to emissions, and the manufacturers blaming Cummins and back and forth, vice versa, and very, very frustrating. So was able to push for the Detroit because of the larger engine being coupled to the transmission. So this is a DD16. It's 15.6 liters. The DT12, sorry, not the DT12 transmission, but that is an option. Just really been a lot happier with the Detroit, the full Detroit assurance package in regards to like adaptive cruise, crash mitigation, blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning. Probably the best in the industry. Side cameras there. So really clean look up front. LED headlights. I've gotten to the point where, you know, like I've got a Jeep Wrangler and I drive that over other vehicles because they have really bright headlights. So it does a good job. That's your blind spot monitoring device right there. We'll come inside, kick my shoes off. Okay guys, wanted to do this video interior with the slides closed to be able to kind of see how you can get through here. Unfortunately, they had a little bit different couch here that was not going to allow for full access throughout the coach. We hopefully will get that couch by the end of the week or perhaps next week. So that's the reason why the couch is missing there. We've seen some others at the factory that have some desks and such here. So I just want to let you know that there's different possibilities there. You know, this has the Televator TV right back behind here. Those are all options. If you didn't want the Televator TV that lifted up here, let me see if I can't do this. I probably have to hold it down. No, okay. So all that's an option there, but unfortunately we had to do the video with the missing piece of furniture here. Coming up inside the cab, obviously a ton of room. You know, with the fiberglass cap right here, you have full entry here, easy to plop down. Don't worry about hitting your head or anything like that. This is one of the newer Garmin dash radios and GPS. A lot larger unit. Your factory, or that's your backup camera is integrated into that as well, and has a separate unit right here, so you don't have to go in here for your volume control. You can do your volume control right there. Definitely a step up from the units of the past there. Both of these seats do turn around to be able to bring some of the cab back into the conversion itself. So we'll kind of flop around here, and obviously you can kind of see further back there. I don't really feel like I need to go all the way back in there, but I wanted to talk to you about the app here. And so all these coaches, all the way down to the lower line Renegade, this is all an app-based system. So we can go through here. We're going to go to slides. We're going to confirm. Go to slides. We're going to extend this guy right here. A little bit of delay here. Just wanted to kind of show you it's relatively easy. You can do this inside or outside. So if you're at a campground, we're plugging in, kind of getting it all level, or if you were relatively close to your neighbor, you could go out and run this app from the exterior of the coach. But just wanted to kind of show you inside the unit with the slides closed up. I don't know if hey, I can do two at once. I take that back. Even though both are illuminated, only one's operating. A little bit of delay there when you're holding the button down. And if you'll bear with me, I will do the back bed slide as well. Second pause here. I'll probably do the other one as we go back there. So I'll show you some of the other other things associated with the app. Obviously, you can operate this from either a Droid device or Apple device. You can do an iPad. So you know, just a pretty simple app to be able to download. Master lights on and off. And then you can go through, control your exterior on and off. The nice thing about master lights on and off, it will not drop your exterior lights. So if you're kind of a worrywart like me, you can leave on a few of your exterior lights and then just be able to control your interior lights with relative ease. Let's go back to the app there. Thermostats right here. front, rear, mid, and then you can control your aqua hot burner there. You can do your preheat, of course, run all your slides, and then let me go here. So electrical right there. Start and stop your generator. Do auto generator start. Auto generator start will work off of either low voltage or air conditioner demand. Do this one more time. And this is just kind of a general information screen, and then a way to be able to actually hook into the app itself. So super easy, no experience necessary to do that. The only downfall of this is if your 5-year-olds figure it out, you're probably going to have lots of slides coming in and out when they're playing with it. So that's the only downfall to that app there. The kitchen itself, a ton of storage here in the kitchen. The only thing that I thought was a little quirky was this big giant spot right there. We'll talk with the new owner and see if he wants to put some shelves or 2 giant waste baskets, or what if he wants to smuggle people in there. It just seems a little odd, but everything else nice and clean. Sliding drawer for your silverware and such. Right now we kind of got them cram packed with remotes and such. All the drawers themselves are all dovetail construction here, and they're all soft close. These are a flat cabinet. Renegade labels them Epic Slab. It seems like a lot for a cabinet, but just a nice, clean, modern cabinet design. We can still do the raised panels if you'd like, just kind of a matter of preference. But you need a little spot to put your sponge and such. More storage there. This is definitely, Renegade does a great job here in regards to pantries. This is adjustable right here. So whether you have large cans, boxes and such, you can do all that here. And then down below is all your electrical. We'll come back over to this side of the coach. These are dual recliners, often called theater seats. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and fire off the generator, one, so you can hear the sound of the generator, and then 2, these things will light up to be able to, so you'll bear with me just 1 second. I'll go to the electrical screen. Just a little bit of delay starting the generator. Might be able to hear like a light vibration. There we go. A little bit of delay there. It's kind of a cooler morning out. It'll take a second for that to fire off, and I'll probably go ahead and turn the heated tile floors on. That's another thing. I try to spec them, these higher end coaches, with heated tile floors. Unfortunately, it does take the generator or to be plugged in to operate those tile floors, but it is a nice feature. I'm a really cold sleeper, but I like to have that warmth once I get up out of bed, so it's pretty cool. If you're, if you like to sleep at 50 or 60 degrees, you could actually set the timers on the heated tile floors to fire those off about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Wake up to a nice warm bedroom and a nice warm tile floor itself. Well, for some reason these are not lit up, but I can tell you that we set in them over the weekend. Nice, comfortable. There again, for the people that have seen some of my other videos, I've never been a big fan of. Here we go, a little bit of delay there. Never been a big fan of recliners and such. I'm really on the go quite a bit, but going out in the motorhome and kind of forcing yourself to kind of chill out a little bit, it's nice to be able to kind of hang out for a little bit. Basically, anywhere you sit, you'll have 110 connections along with USB. If you're charging your phone, whatnot, you can do that basically anywhere you sit, anywhere you sleep as well. This is a convertible dinette right here, and there's a cushions that are right below here. I'll take that back. The other units have cushions. We actually have it back in the. They're a little bit more depth there, but nice storage there. All ultra leather. You pretty much won't see a true leather in hardly any coach at this day and age. Mostly ultra leather. It lasts a lot longer than your leather. And unfortunately, as a society, we've become lazy, so we don't condition leather like we once did. And so that's the reason why most manufacturers will use ultra leather. Nice, soft, but basically kind of low maintenance. I'm going to drop this just because we got some sun that's kind of coming in. So just all Corian countertops. It allows you to do a nice flushed induction cooktop there. The induction cooktop will come with its own dish set to be able to utilize with that. You know, I'm not a big fan of cooking inside my RV, but obviously there's a ton of people out there that do cook, so having the induction cooktop is a nice addition. Also, you know, has a lot of safety built in, so you know, unless the pan is there, it's not going to heat. So great for small children and such. Come back here, just a standard. That's a 20 cubic foot Samsung, probably my favorite residential refrigerator to go in RVs. Just a nice clean look, just really simple, haven't had any issues, nothing wild and crazy there. We'll come back, there is a pocket door here, so if you wanted to be able to isolate this area, you know, for whatever reason, you can isolate this area. There's two pocket doors right here. The half bath is here. In fact, so the heated tile floors are they're both set to 74, so they'll start warming up here. Little half bath here with a small hand washing sink there. Nice, you know, if you know, even though, you know, I've been around lots of couples, even though they love each other, it's nice to have your own bathroom, or perhaps one person makes a little bit bigger mess with their toothbrush than the other. So you can still utilize this to, you know, maybe do your makeup or just get ready in the morning, brush your teeth and whatnot. I envision this probably being the guy's bathroom and the rear being the woman's bathroom, but still fair amount of storage here. Macerated toilet, plenty of room here to be set down. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds, so plenty of room in this bathroom, even though it is a smaller bathroom itself, but I don't hit anywhere. I've got plenty of room inside this bathroom here. Washer dryer, stacked washer dryer set. They actually, Renegade actually separates them in two different compartments there, just for more stability and such. But a ton of storage all the way around the unit. That's an access right there to be able to shut the water off to the washer dryer. That's just seems minute, but it's really a big deal because there's a lot of units. If you want to be able to shut the water off, you got to pull them out, and that makes it definitely handy right there. Storage here, I don't know how much of this you can catch. It is convertible, so these shelves can come out. Down below there's not a hanging rod, but you could add a hanging rod to both of those. I'm going to finish running these bed slides out. Actually, closet slide. The colors on this, this is a cream upper wall fabric. That's a white, basically they're vinyl, they're textured vinyl, very easy to keep clean. All you have to do is just take like a wet towel, microfiber, and be able to clean them off. This is a Italian nutmeg, and then we went ahead and did the smooth wainscot down below the chair rail. Come back in here. Pretty happy with this guy right here. Ton of storage here, so you have, you know, nice 40-inch TV right there, but you have full utilization back behind the TV. So if you have, you know, lots of clothes or just items, you can basically, you know, even though the TV is here, you can see all the way back around, all the way underneath and such. Nice that they put the entertainment right here instead of utilizing the entertainment right here. It just makes sense. Further out of the way, you don't really need to get to that. It's a lot more valuable to get in here and be able to, you know, get some items and such. Drawers below, cabinets up top. Really wide right here. There's a ton of room here to be able to walk through. Renegade does, well, pretty much all manufacturers of the truck chassis will have the water tank below the bed. Nice thing that Renegade does, and let me pile this up, is they do make it accessible. Your water pump is right there. That's a big thing for me. I like to be able to see things and just inspect things and make sure everything's okay. And being able to look under here is a big deal for me. little bit tighter around the edges of the bed itself. This is a 72-inch wide bed. People get caught up on, RV King, RV Queen, what size is it? I say you got a 60-inch wide bed, you got a 66-inch wide bed, and a 72-inch wide bed. So call it whatever you may, but that's basically kind of the setup here. There's a control right here to run your generator, start and stop your generator there, run your master lights underneath there. A little bit nicer than putting it over here. Obviously at night, if you have to kind of fumble over here, it's a lot easier to look straight overhead, hit a button. Little cubby holes right here, cell phone or medication or whatever. There are plugs on each side of the bed as well, so if you need to run like a CPAP machine or something like that, you can plug those in there. Probably couldn't get the machine to set up here, set it down on the floor, be able to plug it in right there. Come back here to the rear bath. This is, I believe, a 41-inch rear bath. Nice wide doorway here. But the shower itself is, it's a monster. So you get the shower, there's a ton of room inside the shower itself, all full tile. We can do solid surface. Obviously you can do fiberglass. I can't imagine building a coach of this quality with a fiberglass shower. Definitely cool layout of everything. A little shower seat that flops down. Just lots of different things to, make it more like a home, to incorporate those ideas. So whether you're an older person that needs like a rest to be able to sit down while you're showering, whether you need to shave your legs, and if you're, got more elasticity or whatever, you can utilize that. Little lip right there to be able to put your shampoo and such. Just a nice size shower. And this is probably about the only place you'll see me do the polished tile, just because I know the water's going to run off the polished tile. I'm not a fan of the polished tile floors. Obviously, that's just an option. Big vanity right here. Big monster. These all are adjustable as well. I'll leave that closed for our camera person. Lots of storage underneath there as well. Adjustable cabinets there, and then a little drawer there. Nice placement of all the hydronic registers. So there's one there, there's two underneath the bed. We brought the coach back. Wasn't anything wild and crazy as far as cold temperatures, but you can definitely tell whenever a coach is not adequately heated or cooled whenever you have these hot and cold spots. And they do a good job distributing those heat registers all throughout the coach themselves. So I'm going to come through here. A lot of these things are options, like this little disco light. I thought, well, I'll get it and try it and see if I like it or not. You could just do that without any lights. You could do that just as wood, but there's a lot of different potential options there. But all in all, very, very happy with the coach itself. Definitely a higher line unit. All the colors turned out really, really nice. Like I said, it's really difficult to describe the chassis. It just does a great job driving up and down the road. Super, super quiet. You're not having to manhandle, the steering wheel. We made this trip. We normally make the trip, in roughly 3-ish days. We made the trip in basically 2 days, and no regrets whatsoever. Just performed great, no problem whatsoever. Being able to potentially run those higher speeds, especially once you get out west here, it makes a big difference. You don't have to drive those speeds, but just the option to be able to run with traffic. If traffic's running 75 and 80, it kind of gets to be a pain to be stuck in the right hand lane. So great job there. I want to talk a little bit about what we offer. Even though we're new to the Renegade line, like I said, we've been selling against the Renegade line for basically 5 years. What we offer as a dealership here is lots of experience. I go get most of these coaches myself. It's not because I have the time, it's because it's that important to get to the manufacturer, to have those conversations with the manufacturer, to go through and make sure that we're all on the same page, that the team here and the team there is all communicating. it's imperative. It's a completely different experience than buying a motorhome from a big giant store somewhere that has, 40 or 50 of the same units on the ground. It's a completely different experience here. I've been doing this for a long time. I take a lot of pride in it. Personally, I had lots of nicer motorhomes as a kid growing up. I've always worked my tail off and I've had nicer things. And it was a pretty simple integration getting into the motorhome business because I had those things in the past, and I had very, very, very stern or prominent ideas about the way coaches should be built or what amenities that they had, should have. And it's just kind of transgressed into the business here. It's been a really easy thing for us to do, and of course, dealing with the manufacturers, they don't always see the same thing as the consumer sees. Most of those manufacturers don't stay in these coaches, so they don't know anything about them. They build them, they're around them all day long, and that makes a huge difference to be able to stay in the coach, to be able to give that feedback, and stay in so many different coaches. Just owning a motorhome doesn't necessarily make you an expert. If you own 30 or 40, maybe you're more of an expert. And even though perhaps I haven't owned 30 or 40, I've used 30 or 40. Well, I've used probably hundreds beyond that. Definitely makes a difference. What we offer to our consumers is just lots of experience, lots of knowledge, and basically, people, I've been dealing with people for years. They have my cell phone number. I've got customers building their second and third motorhomes in a pretty short period of time because of the amount of experience that we can offer and the amount of time that we give our consumers. It's not an issue. Most people come here, they'll stay for a few days, we'll go eat lunch, and most of the customers leave here as friends. And that's just something you don't see at large big box stores. Even for guys that are spending, $500, $600, $1 million, that's still a salesperson. And there's a lot of great salespeople out there, but I don't feel there's that many people that offer that much experience to give that consumer the idea of I'm going to be taken care of from the time that I start this process to the time that I end this process. Because of the amount of time that I personally spend with the units, I've got a great memory of, someone calls me and says, "Hey, Darren, where's my power inverter?" Every coach might be a little bit different, but I've got a great enough memory where I could say, "Hey, look on your storage compartment on your, on the left-hand side, third back," and that does make a difference. It's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I don't have any hobbies. This is my hobby. This is what I do. We go pick up coaches, have a lot of fun with them. So definitely a different experience than anything you'd find out there in the industry. Definitely glad to have the Renegade line. Glad to get more units under my belt to be able to offer more units to the consumers. With the show hauler line, we're almost a year out. In fact, we're over a year out on the show hauler stuff, so it's very difficult when those consumers call in and they want to build a coach or they want to buy something. I tell them it's a year and a half out. Renegade, we're about 6 months out. Got lots of Renegades currently in the queue to be built, so make sure you guys always kind of check out the website. If you're serious, call my cell phone number. It's not a problem at any point in time to be able to talk about these coaches, to be able to go through them and figure out what we've got going, figure out my opinions, and I'll tell you the good, the bad, the ugly on any manufacturer, just because of the time that I've been able to spend around those. I'm fortunate to be able to have lots of coaches, to be able to go through them. If you come here to the dealership, you'll see heavy presence on service versus very little on the sales. We're not hard pressure sales. We want people to enjoy what they have. It's very, very important for us. Sorry to kind of gotten off on a little tangent there. It's probably another video in itself, but really appreciate you guys looking at all the videos. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We'll keep on doing more. We have a handful of Veronas and Valencias we'll shoot videos of. We'll probably just do like a blanketed video, but it's definitely a lot of fun. Glad you guys came out. Keep on coming back. Thanks.